Have you been feeling different lately? Like something deep inside you is changing? You might be going through a divine feminine awakening. This special journey can totally change your life in ways you never imagined. It's like waking up from a long sleep and seeing the world with new eyes. Suddenly, everything looks brighter, feels deeper, and makes more sense. This isn't just some small change. It's a big deal that can touch every part of your life. Think about it. Have you noticed yourself becoming more caring, more in tune with your feelings, or more connected to nature? These could be signs that your divine feminine side is waking up. It's like a flower that's been waiting all winter, finally blooming in the spring. And just like that flower, you're about to show your true beauty to the world. But what exactly is the divine feminine? It's not about being a woman or a man. It's an energy we all have inside us. It's the part of us that loves, nurtures, creates, and feels deeply. It's the voice of our hearts and the wisdom of our bodies. When this energy awakens, it's like finding a hidden superpower you never knew you had. Now, you might be wondering, why should I care about this divine feminine stuff? Well, let me tell you, understanding these signs is super important. It's not just some new age trend or passing fad. This awakening can help you grow in ways you never thought possible. It can bring more balance to your life, help you understand yourself better, and even change how you see the world around you. Imagine feeling more at peace with yourself, more connected to others, and more in tune with the world. That's what a divine feminine awakening can do for you. It's like finding the missing piece of a puzzle you've been trying to solve your whole life. Suddenly, things start to make sense in a whole new way. But here's the thing. If you ignore these signs, you might miss out on something really special. It's like having a superpower and never using it. You could be walking around with this amazing gift inside you and never know it. That's why it's so important to pay attention to these signs and embrace them when they show up. Think about it this way. Have you ever felt like something was missing in your life, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it? Maybe you've been searching for meaning, for deeper connections, or for a sense of purpose. The awakening of your divine feminine energy could be the key to finding what you've been looking for all along. And it's not just about you. When you awaken your divine feminine energy, it can have a ripple effect on the world around you. You might find yourself being kinder, more understanding, and more compassionate. You might inspire others to embrace their own divine feminine energy. In a world that often feels divided and harsh, this kind of energy is exactly what we need more of. But here's the catch. This journey isn't always easy. Sometimes, awakening your divine feminine can be a bit scary or uncomfortable. It might challenge some of your old beliefs or ways of doing things. That's why it's so important to understand what's happening and to have some guidance along the way. Now, I know all this might sound a bit overwhelming. You might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I know if it's happening to me? And what do I do about it? Don't worry, I've got you covered. In this video, I'm going to share 10 clear signs of divine feminine awakening. These aren't just vague ideas or guesses. These are real, concrete signs that you can look for in your own life. I'll break each sign down for you, explaining what it looks like and why it happens. You'll learn about changes in your emotions, your relationships, your creativity, and even your physical body. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear picture of what a divine feminine awakening looks like and how to recognize it in yourself. But I'm not just going to leave you with a list of signs. I want to give you something practical that you can use right away. That's why I'm also going to share a simple but powerful practice to help you connect with your divine feminine energy. This is something you can do anytime, anywhere, to tap into this amazing power inside you. This practice isn't complicated or time-consuming. You don't need any special equipment or skills. All you need is a few minutes and an open mind. But don't let its simplicity fool you. This practice can be incredibly powerful. It's something I use myself, and it's made a huge difference in my life. I'm sharing all this because I've been through this journey myself. I know firsthand how life-changing a divine feminine awakening can be. It's like discovering a whole new world inside yourself. It's changed how I see myself, how I relate to others, and how I move through the world. And I want you to experience that same transformation. This knowledge truly changed my life, and I believe it can change yours too. It's not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming more fully yourself. It's about embracing all parts of who you are, including the soft, nurturing, intuitive parts that our society doesn't always value. Imagine waking up every day feeling more connected to yourself and the world around you. Imagine feeling more creative, more intuitive, and more alive. Imagine having deeper, more meaningful relationships and a stronger sense of purpose. That's what embracing your divine feminine can do for you. But remember, this isn't a one-size-fits-all journey. Your awakening might look different from someone else's, and that's okay. The divine feminine expresses itself uniquely through each person. What matters is that you're open to the journey and willing to embrace the changes as they come. So, are you ready to dive in? Are you ready to explore the signs of divine feminine awakening and see how they show up in your life? Great. Let's get started with the first sign. Let's talk about the first big sign of divine feminine awakening. A whole new world of feelings. Have you noticed lately that your emotions seem different? Maybe you're feeling things more deeply than before. It's like someone turned up the volume on your heart, and now every feeling comes through loud and clear. This emotional awakening can be pretty intense. You might find yourself crying at things that never used to bother you. A sad movie, a beautiful sunset, or even a kind word from a friend might suddenly bring tears to your eyes. But don't worry, it's not just the sad stuff. You might also feel joy more deeply than ever before. The laughter of a child or the beauty of a flower might fill you with a happiness so big it feels like your heart could burst. At first, this flood of feelings might be a bit scary. You might wonder, what's wrong with me? Why am I so emotional all of a sudden? But here's the thing, nothing's wrong. In fact, everything's right. This is your divine feminine helping you understand your feelings better. It's like she's teaching you a new language, the language of the heart. You see, for a long time, many of us have been taught to push our feelings down. We've been told to be strong or to get over it. But the divine feminine knows that our feelings are important. They're not just random noise. They're messages from our deepest selves. When we learn to listen to these messages, we can understand ourselves and others so much better. This emotional awakening isn't just about feeling more. It's also about understanding your feelings better. You might start to notice patterns in your emotions. Maybe you always feel anxious before a big meeting, or sad when you're alone for too long. As you pay attention to these patterns, you'll start to understand yourself in a whole new way. And here's the really cool part. As you get more in touch with your own feelings, you'll probably find that you're better at understanding other people's feelings too. It's like you've developed a sixth sense for emotions. You might notice when a friend is upset, even if they're trying to hide it. Or you might be able to sense the mood in a room as soon as you walk in. This emotional awakening can change your relationships in amazing ways. When you understand your own feelings better, you can communicate them more clearly to others. And when you're more tuned into other people's feelings, you can respond to them with more kindness and understanding. It's like upgrading your emotional software to the latest version. Now, let's move on to the second sign of divine feminine awakening, a growing love for nature. Have you been feeling a strong pull to spend more time outside lately? Maybe you've started taking long walks in the park, or you've suddenly developed a green thumb and want to start a garden. This isn't just a random hobby. It's a sign that your divine feminine is waking up. You see, the divine feminine is closely connected to Mother Earth. She's the energy of growth, of nurturing, of the cycles of life. When this energy awakens in you, it's natural to feel more connected to the world around you. It's like you're remembering an old friendship, one that goes back to the very beginning of time. This connection to nature might show up in all sorts of ways. Maybe you've started noticing the beauty of flowers more, or you find yourself pausing to watch birds in flight. You might feel a strong urge to go camping or hiking, to get away from the city and immerse yourself in the wild. Or maybe you've developed a fascination with the moon, noticing how it changes night by night and feeling a connection to its cycles. But this isn't just about appreciating nature's beauty. As your divine feminine awakens, you might start to feel a deep sense of caring for the earth. You might become more aware of environmental issues and feel a strong desire to protect our planet. This isn't just guilt or obligation. It's a heartfelt love for the earth and all its creatures. You might also start to notice how nature affects you. Maybe you feel more energized on sunny days or calmer when you're near water. You might find that walking barefoot on grass makes you feel grounded and peaceful. It's like you're tuning in to the earth's energy and letting it flow through you. This connection to nature can be incredibly healing. In our busy, tech-filled world, we often forget that we're part of nature too. Reconnecting with the natural world can help us feel more balanced, more peaceful, and more alive. It's like coming home to a place you've always belonged. Now, let's talk about the third sign of divine feminine awakening, becoming more intuitive. Have you noticed lately that you just seem to know things without knowing how you know them? Maybe you've had a strong feeling about something that turned out to be true, or you've been having vivid dreams that seem to mean something. This is your intuition waking up, and it's a big part of the divine feminine awakening. Intuition is like a sixth sense. It's that gut feeling, that inner voice that whispers to you. When your divine feminine awakens, this voice often gets louder and clearer. It's like turning up the volume on your inner wisdom. You might start to trust your gut feelings more, making decisions based on what feels right rather than just what looks good on paper. This growing intuition can show up in all sorts of ways. Maybe you find yourself knowing who's calling before you pick up the phone, or you might have a sudden urge to take a different route to work, only to find out later that your usual route was blocked by an accident. You might start having dreams that seem to predict future events, or that give you insights into problems you're facing. But intuition isn't just about predicting the future or making lucky guesses. It's a deeper way of knowing that goes beyond logic and reason. It's your divine feminine tapping into the wisdom of your body, your emotions, and your connection to the world around you. When you listen to this wisdom, you can make choices that are truly right for you, not just what others think you should do. As your intuition grows stronger, you might find that you're better at reading people. You might be able to sense when someone is being dishonest or when they're holding something back. This can be incredibly helpful in your relationships, helping you navigate tricky social situations and connect more deeply with others. You might also start to notice synchronicities more, those meaningful coincidences that seem to pop up at just the right moment. Maybe you think of an old friend and then run into them the next day. Or you might keep seeing the same number everywhere you look. These synchronicities are like little winks from the universe, reminding you that you're connected to something bigger than yourself. Developing your intuition can be a bit scary at first. Our society often values logic and reason over intuition, so you might feel unsure about trusting these new feelings. But as you practice listening to your inner voice, you'll find that it becomes easier and more natural. It's like developing a new skill. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Remember, your intuition is a gift. It's your divine feminine offering you guidance and wisdom. When you learn to trust this inner compass, you'll find that life flows more smoothly. You'll make decisions with more confidence, navigate challenges with more grace, and connect with others more deeply. It's like having a wise guide with you at all times, helping you find your way through life's twists and turns. Let's explore the next sign of divine feminine awakening, a growing desire to nurture and care for others. Have you noticed yourself becoming more compassionate lately? Maybe you're feeling a stronger urge to help people, or you're finding joy in taking care of plants or animals. This isn't just random kindness. It's your divine feminine energy expressing itself through love and care. When this nurturing energy awakens, you might find yourself wanting to mother everyone and everything around you. You might start cooking more meals for your friends and family, or you might volunteer at a local charity. Even small acts of kindness, like helping a stranger carry their groceries, might start to feel deeply satisfying. This nurturing energy isn't just about taking care of others, though. It's also about creating a nurturing environment for yourself and those around you. You might find yourself wanting to make your home cozier and more welcoming. Maybe you'll start buying more plants, or you'll rearrange your space to make it feel more peaceful and harmonious. As this nurturing side of you grows stronger, you might also become more aware of the needs of those around you. You might start to notice when a friend is feeling down, even if they haven't said anything. Or you might become more attuned to the emotional atmosphere in your home or workplace. This heightened awareness allows you to respond with care and compassion, creating a more supportive environment for everyone. Remember, nurturing isn't about sacrificing yourself for others. It's about finding a balance between caring for yourself and caring for those around you. As your divine feminine awakens, you'll learn to nurture yourself too, recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. This self-care isn't selfish. It's an essential part of being able to care for others. Now, let's talk about another exciting sign of divine feminine awakening: feeling more creative and artistic. Have you suddenly felt the urge to pick up a paintbrush, start writing poetry, or learn to play an instrument? This burst of creativity is your divine feminine energy expressing itself through art and self-expression. When this creative energy awakens, it's like a fountain of ideas starts flowing within you. You might find yourself doodling during meetings, humming tunes in the shower, or coming up with story ideas as you drift off to sleep. It's like your imagination has been set free, and suddenly the world is full of possibilities. This creativity isn't just about making traditional art. It might show up in how you dress, how you decorate your home, or how you cook your meals. You might start experimenting with new flavors in the kitchen, or you might feel drawn to brighter, more colorful clothes. It's all about expressing your inner self in the outer world. As your creativity grows, you might also find that you're more open to new experiences. You might want to try new foods, visit new places, or learn new skills. This openness to novelty is part of the creative spirit. It's about seeing the world with fresh eyes and being willing to try new things. Remember, you don't have to be a professional artist to be creative. Your divine feminine doesn't care about perfection. She cares about expression. So don't worry if your drawings aren't museum-worthy or if your poems don't rhyme. What matters is that you're allowing your inner creativity to flow freely. Let's move on to another important sign of divine feminine awakening: a desire for deeper, more meaningful relationships. Have you noticed that small talk doesn't satisfy you anymore? Are you craving conversations that go beyond the surface level? This is your divine feminine calling you to connect more deeply with others. When this aspect of the divine feminine awakens, you might find yourself wanting to really know the people in your life. You might start asking more meaningful questions, or you might feel a strong urge to share your own deeper thoughts and feelings. It's like you're no longer content with just knowing the facts about someone. You want to understand their dreams, their fears, their innermost selves. This desire for deeper connections might change how you approach relationships. You might find yourself drawn to people who are open and authentic, who aren't afraid to show their true selves. At the same time, you might start to feel uncomfortable around people who seem fake or superficial. In your existing relationships, you might start to seek more intimacy and vulnerability. This doesn't just apply to romantic relationships, it can happen with friends and family too. You might have heart-to-heart conversations with old friends, sharing things you've never talked about before. Or you might find new ways to bond with family members, seeing them as complex individuals rather than just relatives. This awakening can also change how you communicate. You might become a better listener, really tuning in to what others are saying and what they're not saying. You might also become more honest in your own communication, expressing your true feelings even when it's difficult. Remember, deeper relationships don't always mean easier relationships. Being more open and vulnerable can sometimes lead to conflicts or misunderstandings. But as your divine feminine awakens, you'll likely find that you have more patience and compassion to work through these challenges. Now, let's explore another sign of divine feminine awakening: a shift towards softer, more flowing energy in your life. Have you noticed that you're less interested in pushing and striving, and more interested in allowing things to unfold naturally? This is your divine feminine guiding you towards a more balanced way of living. When this energy awakens, you might find yourself resisting the urge to control everything. Instead, you might start to trust the flow of life more. This doesn't mean becoming passive. It's about finding a balance between action and receptivity. It's like learning to dance with life, rather than trying to force it into a specific shape. This shift might show up in how you approach your goals. Instead of pushing hard all the time, you might find yourself taking inspired action when it feels right and resting when you need to. You might become more flexible in your plans, open to changing course when new opportunities arise. You might also notice changes in how you move and carry yourself. Your movements might become more fluid and graceful. You might be drawn to activities that celebrate this flowing energy, like dance, yoga, or Tai Chi. It's like your body is remembering a natural rhythm it always knew but had forgotten. This flowing energy can also affect your emotional life. You might find it easier to let emotions move through you, rather than getting stuck in them. It's like learning to be a channel for your feelings, allowing them to flow without being overwhelmed by them. Remember, embracing this flowing energy doesn't mean giving up your strength or power. It's about finding a different kind of strength, one that knows when to yield and when to stand firm, when to flow and when to focus. It's the strength of water, which can wear away mountains over time. Let's talk about another fascinating sign of divine feminine awakening: increased body awareness and acceptance. Have you started to feel more in tune with your body lately? Maybe you're noticing subtle sensations you never paid attention to before, or maybe you're developing a new appreciation for your body's abilities. This is your divine feminine helping you reconnect with the wisdom of your physical self. When this aspect of the divine feminine awakens, you might find yourself becoming more aware of how different foods, activities, or environments affect your body. You might start to crave healthier foods, or you might notice that certain habits make you feel sluggish or energized. It's like your body is speaking to you more clearly, and you're finally learning to listen. This increased body awareness often goes hand in hand with greater body acceptance. You might start to appreciate your body for what it can do, rather than focusing on how it looks. You might find yourself feeling grateful for your strong legs that carry you through the day, or your hands that allow you to create and express yourself. You might also become more in tune with your body's natural rhythms. You might notice how your energy levels change throughout the day, or how your mood shifts with your menstrual cycle if you have one. This awareness can help you work with your body's natural cycles rather than against them. This awakening might also change how you approach health and wellness. Instead of punishing yourself with strict diets or grueling workouts, you might start to seek out forms of movement that feel good and nourishing. You might become more interested in holistic health practices that treat the body, mind, and spirit as interconnected. Remember, increased body awareness isn't about achieving a perfect body or following a set of rigid rules. It's about developing a loving, respectful relationship with your physical self. It's about honoring your body's needs and celebrating its unique beauty. Now, let's explore another important sign of divine feminine awakening: a desire for more balance between work and rest. Have you been feeling like your life is out of balance lately? Maybe you're tired of the constant hustle and starting to crave more downtime. This is your divine feminine calling you to find a more sustainable rhythm in your life. When this aspect awakens, you might start to question the work hard, play hard mentality that's so common in our society. You might find yourself wanting to slow down, to take more time for rest and reflection. This doesn't mean you stop being productive. It's about finding a balance that allows you to be productive without burning out. You might start to notice how different activities affect your energy levels. Some tasks might energize you, while others drain you. As you become more aware of this, you might start to organize your days differently, balancing high-energy tasks with periods of rest and recovery. This desire for balance might also show up in how you view success. Instead of focusing solely on external achievements, you might start to value inner peace and fulfillment more. You might find yourself setting boundaries at work, or saying no to commitments that don't align with your values. You might also become more interested in practices that help you find balance, like meditation or mindfulness. These practices can help you stay centered and grounded, even when life gets hectic. Remember, finding balance isn't about achieving a perfect 50-50 split between work and rest. It's about tuning into your own needs and creating a rhythm that works for you. Some days might require more action, while others call for more rest. The key is staying flexible and listening to your inner wisdom. Finally, let's talk about one of the most beautiful signs of divine feminine awakening: a growing sense of inner power and self-love. Have you noticed that you're starting to value yourself more? Maybe you're setting better boundaries, or maybe you're just feeling more comfortable in your own skin. This is your divine feminine helping you recognize your inherent worth and power. When this aspect of the divine feminine awakens, you might find yourself becoming your own best friend. You might start to speak to yourself with more kindness and compassion. Instead of harsh self-criticism, you might find yourself offering words of encouragement and support. This growing self-love often leads to better self-care. You might start prioritizing activities that make you feel good, both physically and emotionally. This could be anything from taking relaxing baths to pursuing a long-forgotten hobby. It's about recognizing that you deserve care and attention, not just when you're sick or stressed, but all the time. As your self-love grows, you might also find yourself standing up for yourself more. You might set clearer boundaries in your relationships, or you might speak up against unfair treatment at work. This isn't about being aggressive or selfish. It's about honoring your worth and treating yourself with respect. This awakening can also change how you view your flaws and mistakes. Instead of beating yourself up over them, you might start to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. You might become more willing to try new things and take risks, knowing that your worth isn't determined by your successes or failures. Remember, self-love isn't about being perfect or never having doubts. It's about accepting yourself fully, both your strengths and your weaknesses. It's about recognizing your inherent worth as a human being, regardless of your achievements or what others think of you. As we wrap up our exploration of the signs of divine feminine awakening, take a moment to reflect on your own journey. Have you recognized any of these signs in your life? Maybe you've experienced a few of them. Maybe you're just starting to feel the stirrings of awakening. Remember, awakening your divine feminine energy is a deeply personal journey. There's no one-size-fits-all path and no timeline you need to follow. Some people might experience a sudden, dramatic awakening, while for others, it might be a slow, gentle unfolding. Whatever your journey looks like, it's perfect for you. As you continue on this path, be gentle with yourself. Awakening can sometimes be challenging, as it often involves facing parts of yourself that you've ignored or pushed away. But it's also incredibly rewarding. As you embrace your divine feminine energy, you may find yourself feeling more alive, more connected, and more authentically you than ever before. Don't forget the simple practice we talked about earlier. Sitting quietly, placing your hands on your heart, and imagining a warm, pink light glowing there. This can be a powerful way to connect with your divine feminine energy whenever you need to. Remember, your divine feminine awakening isn't just about you. As you embrace this energy, you become a beacon of light for others. Your increased empathy, creativity, and self-love can inspire those around you, creating a ripple effect of positive change in the world. So embrace this journey with an open heart. Trust the process, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. Your divine feminine is awakening for a reason, guiding you towards a more balanced, fulfilling, and authentic life. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of divine feminine awakening. May your journey be filled with love, growth, and beautiful discoveries about yourself and the world around you. Remember, you are on a unique and sacred path. Trust your inner wisdom, embrace your divine feminine, and watch as your life transforms in amazing ways.